how to drive a car. If you don't know, I'm a state certified instructor. I teach teens and adults. It's really important that you give your beginning driver confidence and you're consistent. What does this mean? You can drive through a neighborhood. I'm going to show you this right now. And when you drive through neighborhoods, you're going to learn how to turn on the wipers, and that's a good teachable moment. Driving in the rain is okay, but you have to make sure you have good wipers that they can clear the windshield. But I like to take drivers through neighborhoods where you're making 12 right turns, 12 left turns, 4 times 4 is 16. They're going to make 16 turns. And when you make turns, you're going to learn how to turn hand over hand into the turn and hand over hand out. There's more than one way to turn the steering wheel. Here, primarily in the United States, the majority of states and jurisdictions turn hand over hand. We know that there's an airbag. Actually, AAA says 7 and 5, but traditionally it can be 9 and 3, 10 and 2. What you need to do as a driver is find a style that works for you. Find something that works for you. You're going to be watching your mom and dad. You're going to be watching me. You're going to be watching your instructor. And you're going to develop a style that works for you. I have very long arms, so 10 and 2 might work for me, 9 and 3 might work for me. It depends on the size of the steering wheel, and it depends on the maneuvers that you are doing. If you're making 90-degree right turns or parallel parking, hand over hand is the way to go. If you're going around a curve, you just want to gently turn the wheel. Some other things that can really help beginning drivers is really working on speed control, getting your car properly positioned on the road. A lot of beginning drivers tend to hug the right side of the road, so it's extremely important that your instructor or parent or guardian, you help your son or daughter, niece or nephew, have proper lane positioning. You want to teach them to look ahead, as I'm looking ahead right now, and I'm going to show you this. When you look ahead, you should see a car like this car is coming, they're turning and staying to the right. You see the crack in the road. I want to be between the crack and the curb. I want to go up to the edge of the road. I want to stop and look left, right, and left again. Vision is very important. Modeling is very important. And it doesn't matter if you're with your instructor, your mom or dad, you should be learning the right fundamentals. We drove during rush hour. What does rush hour mean? People are tired, they're impatient, they're hungry, they're irritable. So what do you need to do? Try to be in a calm, relaxed state, be patient, and when you're patient, you're going to be more successful. Your student driver, your son or daughter will learn through repetition, going through the neighborhood, coming up to the edge of the road, looking left, looking right, looking left, squeezing the brake. Here's another pro tip for you. I'm not sponsored by Converse. Converse are good shoes. Crocs are good shoes. You want a thin sole shoe to feel the brake. If the pedal is wet and it's been raining, your son or daughter's foot's going to slip off that brake, and it's going to be very scary. So you want to remind your son or daughter to use the ball of their foot so they can squeeze the brake. Also during rush hour, mom and dad, if you're tired, you shouldn't be driving during rush hour. Your son or daughter should not be driving during rush hour. But getting them out into rush hour traffic will teach them good fundamentals, having good speed control, having good space, and having them take their time. It's extremely important. We can look at this car right now. You can see cars coming in, they're speeding through the neighborhood. If you take things for granted, then you will end up in an accident. People are very aggressive in neighborhoods. They're hungry. They're tired. They have to use the bathroom. They want to get home. You need to remind your son or daughter, or me as an instructor, be a defensive driver. You can see kids coming out to the left, kids coming out to the right. Use this area as an opportunity. Each area has its own environment. In this environment, you have kids that are out. You have teens and adults that are flying through the neighborhood because they're tired. They come from a downtown metro area coming out to the suburban area. So you need to remind your son or daughter how important it is that when you're in this area, slow down. A stop means a complete stop, not a rolling stop. You should see your son or daughter looking left, right, and left. If you don't see them doing this, or if you're not doing this, they're going to pull out in front of a truck or car. I also try to teach my students not to run yellow lights. If you can stop in 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, and 1003, you should stop smoothly. Never slam the brakes. If you're going to slam brakes, you're going to end up getting rear-ended. So that is another fundamental that you need to work on is good speed control, good space management. Have your son or daughter tell you, okay, what environment are we in? What do you mean? We're in a neighborhood. What do? I look for kids. I make sure I yield. I make sure I stop at signs because this sign that's in front of me means stop. I'm going to zoom in. This sign means stop. And if you don't stop, you're going to end up running it or assuming that people will stop. People don't. If you're driving in a downtown area, what's the environment? What do you mean? There are kids. There are people walking between cars. There are people at restaurants during happy hour. And people are getting happy. They're consuming alcoholic beverages, which they're legal. They can do that. So what I need you to do is be understanding and supportive. If this is valuable, support. Bye.